Once upon a time, there was a village in the depths of the mountains named RadoLand. This village was well known for its exceptional citizens. They were neither humans nor animals. They were Radrables. Each one of them was way different from the other. As I said earlier, this village was in the depths of the mountains. The residents used to have a simple life. They hunted to live. They fought with their enemies in order to protect their borders, and loved to play the tic-tac-toe game. It was the only activity they enjoyed in their free time. Quick anecdote: when one of the Radrables won a game of tic-tac-toe, they get so feisty that they start to breed. Their babies hatch from colorful eggs, and a new generation of Radrables comes to life. In this story, you will discover our hero called Elliot, as well as discover how he overcame the challenges till he became the most important citizen of RadoLand after the king and the queen. Yet, our young Radrable had a cancer that he just discovered few months ago, and he was terrified, not with the idea of dying, but to die without accomplishing his dream, which is becoming an icon and a hero in his village. At this time, at the other side of the village, the king and the queen were facing their own troubles. Their daughter, the Princess Sarah, was sick, but the doctors couldn't find the causes. The king and the queen tried so hard, but didn't find a way. They even asked for help from their neighbors on the other side of the borders, the radical Robos, whom were known with their medieval medicine. They were experts in their jobs, but even with their knowledge, they couldn't find a way to save our Princess Sarah. After this whole tragedy, the king and the queen decided to invite the biggest wizards from all over the world to ask for their help, because sometimes magic could heal what medicine cannot solve. After many weeks, wizards tried to help the Princess Sarah, who was so ill. They tried every possible and impossible way, but to no avail. Now, let's go back to the other side of the village, where Elliot, who was at his turn really sad about the princess. He was conscious of the gravity of the situation, knowing that she was the only inheritress of her parents, and if she died, the whole village will be in total panic, because after the death of the king and the queen, no one will protect the borders from the hands of Rats Society, some horrible creatures with no mercy. Each land they colonize becomes a hell, where the word freedom doesn't exist. And all of these ideas were chasing Elliot's mind. Things that you've ignored, dear viewers, is that his grandmother was also a witch. And because of her age, she couldn't go to their castle to try her magic tricks in order to help the princess. So she asked her grandson to go and see the princess so that he can describe the symptoms to her. Elliot went to the castle, and the guards guided him to the princess's room. He was shocked from what he saw. Her face was bloated, her eyes were red, and her teeth were getting out of her mouth. But what scared him most was a sort of tattoo that just appeared few days ago on her hands. When he came back to his grandma's house, he reported to her all what he saw. Once he mentioned the tattoo, the old lady began screaming,
"This is not possible!"
and started running all over the house, directed to her library, full of magic books. She spent the whole night reading book after book. At this time, Elliot was trying to understand what was happening with his grandma.